Hi everyone, and welcome to the next instalment of my project to transform Italeri's 1/35th scale Crusader tank into a gun tractor. In this episode we're going to be actually looking at finishing off all of the main components and also doing some super detailing. So if that's of interest to you, then pull up a chair and let's do some modelling. Now first off, we're finishing off the boxes at the back. So we've done all of the supports and we've put the base in using plasticard, as you can see here. Had a little bit of filling to do around the bottom hole, but nothing major. It looks really quite nice. So I was able to build up the side walls, also the front and the back wall. And it was very important that I managed to keep all of this square. So a lot of dry fitting and sanding and making sure everything fitted perfectly. But in the end, I was really pleased with how it looked. And we had pretty much a symmetrical looking vehicle. So all going well so far. Then, as you can see, I've used the kit rear mudguards, and then I've put some supports in using plasticard. And what's going to happen is there's going to be a few water cans that are going to sit on the back here as per the reference photos. But that was all sanded back and nice and crisp, and that added to a nice feature on the rear of the gun tractor. And also, not forgetting, underneath we had a few angled pieces that we needed to cut out. That was more luck than judgment, and that all went in okay. And again, a little bit more filling here and there, but I was really pleased with the base that I've now got to be able to put those water cans onto. So let's have a quick look around. We've got the four corner boxes. We've got some of the detailing inside as well. We've got the side doors done. We've got the back panels here, and also the container boxes and those supports. Sadly, these will all get covered up later, so enjoy them while you can. As you can see from the rear toe, that got snapped off, but that's not a problem. That will be fitted on later on. So all in all, really pleased and happy then to progress on to the next stage. Now the rear panels, they had the fire extinguishers on, so those were made out of plasticard again. Also the rear wading gear shield, that was going to be put on the back as well, to make it all fully enclosed, as you can see there. I had a few tyres in the spares drawer, so it was just a matter of picking out the one that I felt fitted the best. Now, as you can see, I've already put the fire extinguishers on. That was a mistake because it does need to go flush, so those would be taken off at a later stage. But what I wanted to do now is to do the exhaust stack based on this photo. So the first thing was to cover up the exhaust panel on the kit itself, and that would give me a fixing point. And then what I did was to take some more plasticard and then fill in the bottom. So we're now creating the box that we're now going to move upwards. So a couple of side panels were added on. Again, not so much guesswork, but taken off of that drawing. The rear panel, I wanted to leave a little bit protruding because obviously the next front panel that goes slots directly in, and I'll just trim and sand that off later. And the rear panel was done as well. And it was really just a matter of just building up this box-like feature, making sure everything slotted in place and everything was covered as if it were the real thing. Now, this is my disc cutter, Display disc cutter. Fantastic piece of kit. If you're into your scratch building, this is an ideal piece of kit to buy to create all of those circular cuts. So once I'd created the circle, that was then quartered. 2 quarters were put on each side, and then a little bit of photo etch for the grill out of the spares drawer. As you can see, it's a bit of a snug fit, but the tie does fit in there okay. I'll just show you around now, looking in a little bit more detail. Now the problem I've got is this top bit. As you can see, the plasticard is too thick to bend over. So what I thought of first of all was if I started adding on strips, and then maybe fill that and sand that down, but that really wasn't going to work well. So I turned to my old favourite, which was the pie tin foil. If you follow my work, you've seen me use it many a time, and it worked out really nicely. And as you can see, I've put some banding around it as well to fix it all in place, to give it a little bit of strength Possibly not quite the way it should be, but for the model, it's ideal, and I don't think it looks out of place. So all in all, those are the main structures done now on the model. So I'll just leave you a few photos so you can have a look around. And then what I needed to do is to turn my attention to the front end. As you can see on the black and white photo, there's quite a bit of detailing there. We've got a slope as well that we've got to contend with. So I managed to take all the measurements off the drawings, and I started in the middle as my central point and put in the spare track and the spare track holder. And from there I was able to work out for the left side and the right side portals, and it was just a matter of making sure everything was to size and to scale. And then on the inside, as you can see, we have the ports, we have some telescopes, we have some handles. Now at this scale I can't put in all the details, so it was just a matter of picking out what I thought was the best part of the scale, like the handles and the portals, etc., and making the best as I can to fit it all in. And it didn't turn out too badly. I think once painted up it'll look pretty good. So all in all, I was quite pleased with the way it worked. And then once that front panel was done, I needed to do the top panels, again with the angles to fit on, as you can see here, and to make sure that that angle slope at the front was correct and was the same as what it was on the actual photo itself. But all in all, I was really pleased with how that turned out. I'm not fixing this part to the model because obviously it will need to be taken off so that I can paint the interior. So that actual part will stay loose. So again, just leaving you some photos so you can see how it's all progressing. So with all of the main components done, I wanted to now return to the front and do some more detailing. Had a small resin part in the spares drawers that was ideal for the motif on the front. And then I managed to put some weld seams down, some little handles as well, made out of 0.3mm wire. We got some 0.5mm pewter rivets there. And it was really just a matter of building up the detailing. Now, anything to do with wading gear in the Second World War, they had this Bostik glue, so some of that had to be put along all of the seam lines, and that will be painted up accordingly. But all in all, I was really pleased with how the front was looking. On the side again, we had some strengthening bars as per the reference material, and some of the top ridges as well. And then turning to the inside, some of those handles obviously came through, so it's just a matter of sanding those back down, adding on those 0.5mm pewter rivets. But really for the interior, I had some resin, not resin, 3D. My friend Neil Merriweather was kind enough to print me off some water canisters. Really cool, very nicely detailed, and quite a few of those will be on the model itself. So all in all, really pleased. So that was the front detailing done, and if we add that on there, that's the start of all of the super detailing. So with the front end done, what I wanted to do was to then start doing some of the detailing inside as well. As I said to you before, this part will be staying off because that will be needed to be painted off the model, but I'll just leave you some of the close-ups so you can see it in more detail. So with the front end done and dusted, I've returned to the actual main body itself. one of the jobs I had to do was to put these large X indentations, which were a real pain in the backside to do. So it's a matter of gently going down with the scribing tool, making sure that it was straight as I possibly could, and then I'd clean that out with the edge of a file. And once done, I'm pretty sure once they're painted up, they'll look the part. So that's where we are now. We're starting the fine detailing of the interior. In the next episode, we'll look at a lot more super detailing and also some of the tools that I use to help do that. So in the meantime, that just leaves me to say a massive thank you to all of my subscribers, old and new. I really do appreciate all of your support of my work and of the channel. And in the meantime, happy modelling, everyone.